Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a bankruptcy attorney here with the Financial Law Group in Warren, Michigan, and I'm here to talk to you today about the Chapter 13 process. Now, one question a lot of people ask me is, how much will my payment be if I file Chapter 13 bankruptcy? Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and something that scares a lot of people, is the process by which you actually are required to make certain payments to your creditors. Now, I can tell you for a fact that I have filed a lot of Chapter 13 bankruptcy cases where the creditors are going to get nothing. There could be various reasons that's the case. For example, someone may file Chapter 13 bankruptcy because they're behind on their mortgage payments. If someone's behind on their mortgage payments, then typically the best way for them to get caught back up on those mortgage payments is through a Chapter 13 bankruptcy case. You can do that with Chapter 13, and you can't do that with Chapter 7. And in a case like that, they might be in a situation where once the mortgage payment has been made and once their reasonable living expenses have been taken into consideration, there's not enough money left over to pay anything to the other creditors. Those would be creditors like credit cards, medical bills, that type of thing. So they could end up in a situation where you have a Chapter 13 case, you're making payments on your plan, and really the only creditor who's going to get anything out of your plan is your mortgage. That happens quite frequently. Another example would be, for example, where somebody has a large tax liability, and for one reason or another, the best way for them to deal with this tax liability is through a Chapter 13 case. You can pay back taxes over time, oftentimes with little or no interest, through a Chapter 13 case. If you decide that you're going to do that, then you might be in a situation again where after your reasonable expenses have been taken into consideration, there's nothing left over to pay anything to your unsecured creditors. So it could be that your payment is only for taxes. There's also the situation that we've had where we've had people who really owe very little debt but have a second mortgage on their house. They've come into my office and we've been able to file a Chapter 13 case to strip that second mortgage off their house. And again, once their income and expenses are taken into consideration, it turns out that there's not enough money there to pay anything back to their unsecured creditors. One nice thing about Chapter 13 is that, generally speaking, your legal fees are included in the Chapter 13 case. So I've been able to start clients' cases for as little as $450 down, basically just covering the costs of their filing fees, their credit counseling, and getting their credit report, which are necessary expenses that we have as we process your case. But then any legal fees that you have to pay would actually be paid as you're making your payments going forward over 3 to 5 years. If you want to find out more about Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you can call my office. We're at the Financial Law Group in Warren. The number is 586-693-2000. My website is financiallawgroup.com, and I'd be happy to meet with you personally for a free consultation.